Hi, doctor. Yes,
Hello, are you
yes.
able to hear me?
Yes, I am. But correct. Yes, that's correct. That's
Okay.
excellent. Good evening. Good
Good
evening.
evening.
Welcome.
Good evening.
Welcome. ஏற்கனவே நமக்கு நிறைய viewers wait பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கா. Thank you
Okay.
so much, doctor. Good evening.
My pleasure, ma'am.
And come on, doctor. You know why? Now, because in Instagram alone, the either will not be saved, all their comments. Adanal, I'll have to immediately tell you some of the comments. And
Okay.
so please bear with me. And
Okay.
doctor, many people even here, and when I sent them on my WhatsApp list, so they wanted me to ask, they wanted to me to tell them why a neurologist. And I said, okay, you listen to the evening's conversation and then you will know why I chose my Dr. Biswakumar. If not for you, doctor, anyway. My dear audience and viewers, I welcome you all to, and on your behalf, I take this opportunity in welcoming my dear doctor, Professor Captain Dr. Bharath Biswakumar.
Thank you.
Neuroscience is by far the most exciting branch of science because the brain is the most fascinating object in the universe. Every human brain makes each human unique and defines who he or she is. Today's guest, our dear Professor Captain Dr. Bharath Biswakumar, is more than a guest to me and my family. The conversation that awaits us is not just a talk between two people, but a true testament of fate, destiny, and divine blessings. And my dear viewers, today the introduction can't be crisp, okay? But a very, very interesting introduction about our Dr. Bharath Biswakumar. Dr. Biswakumar is a multifaceted person whose expertise spans over medicine, teaching medicine, and above all, in instilling confidence and courage in everyone he meets. I am a testimony to this fact, for I stand before you all today. His hand is probably the biggest in it all, our dear doctor. Of course, along with Dr. B. Ramamurthy and Dr. P. S. Srimati. So full of energy and positivity to me. He had been the light in the darkest. He is an eminent and most sought after neurologist in India, based in Chennai, who also has served in the army. He has been the assistant and later consultant at the Institute of Neurology, Government General Hospital and Madras Medical College, Madras, from 1970 to 1986 in an honorary capacity. He was a professor of neurology, Sri Ramachandra Medical College and Research Institute, a deemed university, Porur, Chennai, India, from 2002 to 2005. And then the professor of neurology and a visiting consultant at various private hospitals in the city of Chennai, such as Apollo, Vijaya, Malad, Devaki, National, BSS, etc. And my dear viewers, with his clinic practice also. Now he continues his clinical practice as a consultant neurologist at Indira Child Care, Chennai. A noteworthy feature of the medical career was, for a number of years, attending on the Mahapeyava, Jagadguru Shankaracharya Sri Chandrasekhara Saraswati Swamigal of Kanchi Mutt, considered as the god who walked the earth. Apart from his medical expertise, he is also a very, very generous person who has aided and assisted the education of many people and also has been a grand master of Freemason. Yes, we will know from his own words, his yatra. I believe that it is indeed his grace, yes, doctor, your grace and blessings that has brought me and many other people forward in life. My heartiest thanks and welcome to a person who is so complete in virtue. My dear, our dear Dr. Biswakumar, namaskaram,
Namaskaram.
namaste.
Namaskaram. Namaskaram.
And the stage is yours, Doctor.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Srekala, for inviting me to be a guest in this show.
Thank you.
Conversation with
Today, our Sunday
conversation.
Tejas Instagram conversation. Yes, Doctor.
This Instagram conversation with arranged by the Tejas School of Performing Arts, ably managed, founded and managed by Srekala Bharath.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking me to be here. It's a pleasure, of
It's
course.
our pleasure. We are
So,
fortunate. Yeah.
so my yatra, as I told somewhere else, is as a doctor it began. I was born in the temple town of Kumbakonam.
Wow.
And had my school education there in the town high school. Then I went off to Loyola College, then St. Joseph's College, Trichy, then Madurai Medical College, then Jipmar, Pondicherry, then Madras Medical College, and so on. So at the age of 6 or 5 or 6 itself, I decided that I should become a doctor.
Wow.
Looking at my,
Looking
family doctor, who was a role model for me for all my life, for all the time that he lived here, because he was a man full of compassion, ethos, and kindness towards the patients.
That's
and
so
so I
nice.
decided I must be somewhat like him, but I'm yet to achieve that target and the goal in my own life.
Doctor, you're being so humble.
So that's when I decided, and so I started working to be academically excel in academic curricula, and so I naturally did well in school, in the college, and it was no wonder that I got the medical college seat, and I was allotted to the Madurai Medical College, where I did my MBBS and finished in 1962.
Wow.
Soon after.
Doctor, I was 1 year old. 1962.
So from at that time, this Chinese war with India, the China attacked India, and we did miserably in all the fronts. And so the general came to our college and made an appeal that doctors should join the army. So midway through my internship, I joined the army in 1963.
That's lovely.
Then I was posted to just 22. So I was posted to Pathankot Military Hospital for 1 year to complete my internship and early military training in the Army Medical Corps. Then I was posted in Kashmir for 3.5 years. Most of the time I remained in a place called Uri. You must have seen the film Uri, the surgical strike. So, and that's where I lived for 3.5 years, mostly in a tent and in a wooden building during the winters. And I was fortunate, or whatever you call it, to take part in the 1965 war against Pakistan in the Uri front, in the Kashmir front, and give medical aid to the soldiers who were wounded in that battle in the Hajipir Pass area. So then my contract with the army was over, so I left the army to pursue my medical career. I was let off. I was released from the army only after 4.5 years. So straight away, that 1967, so I came and joined Jipmar Pondicherry, Jawaharlal Institute for postgraduate medical education research for MD in medicine. So which I did for 2 years. Then thereafter I joined the Madras Medical College in 1970 and continued there till 1986 in an honorary capacity without pay. I remained a student of DM neurology, a teacher, a clinician, seeing patients and treating patients in the government general hospital, thousands and thousands of them for 16 long years. For 16 long years.
Wow.
And in between, I developed my private practice also. And that's where I think you came in contact with me.
Yes, and I think 1983, Doctor. My dear viewers, it's going to be 40 years, 38 years. I know him. And 2 years now, 4 decades.
Yeah. So that's the story of my professional career. And in between, I served as a professor in Ramchandra Medical College, then at various other institutions, some physiotherapy colleges, and as a visiting professor in some other institutions
But
outside.
doctor, how did you manage your time?
Yeah,
Like,
that is the basic thing. My
yeah,
time management is something that I wonder myself how I do it, because my day normally does not end on the day in which it begins, you know.
yeah.
So I have about 4.5 to 5 hours of sleep and a small
Yes,
nap in
viewers,
the
please note, doctor till date plays tennis every morning, okay, to
yeah.
keep himself
So
fit the whole day.
yeah, at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm on the tennis court. Before that, I finish my yoga and a
Yes.
small power nap for 20 minutes in the afternoon. That's my lifeline. All this is the pre-corona story.
Okay.
And of course, I became lazy with the corona. So now I'm back
Okay.
to almost back to near normalcy, but not fully normal. Still,
Okay.
I do
Yeah.
consult only in a phased manner for a
Yes.
limited number of hours now.
Yes. Yes.
So that is the story. And my 2, 3 things are important events in my life. 1970, I got married to my own classmates. We were in love and courtship for 12 years. We had to
Wow,
be,
Dr. Indra, so
yeah.
sweet.
So, so she
Oh,
she
sweet.
she
This,
she
I
was
think
trained as a
our viewers
she
will
did a
love to listen to your love story.
yeah. In those days, what love story? You can't even meet and talk.
Oh, God.
There was no
Okay.
telephones. There was no other means of communication. Only
Okay.
eye sign. Only eye signs were the means
Only
of
the
communication.
kanna. Annanum nokinan, avalum nokinal.
Correct. Absolutely.
Sita and Rama, that's all.
So got married in 70. She had done her post graduation in pediatrics. She came to be very famous in her specialty and much
Yes,
sought
yes.
after pediatrician for many children and many mothers now. Many of those people who have been treated by her bring their children to my daughter, who's a pediatrician now, Dr.
Yes,
Priya.
Dr. Priya.
Yes, yeah, Dr. Priya, who practice in the same place and also in
And
Apollo.
where even Dr. Indra auntie practice in the same room, no, doctor?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's how that story. She was born in 71 and she did her MBBS in Madras Medical College and did her diploma in National Board, specializing in pediatrics. She is further trained in Boston. She is a much sought after speaker in many academic fora. She is
Wow.
a very in her own specialty. She is a very sought after speaker and academicians, particularly in this field of vaccination and adolescent medicine. So
Oh,
she is excelled herself. And my son-in-law, Dr. Chandrasekhar, is a renowned
yes.
ophthalmic surgeon. He's got his
Yes.
own eye hospital.
Yes.
And now the next generation, my first granddaughter,
I
Vashini,
think, yeah, Varshini was for a few, I
yeah,
think
who was
1 year
also
was
a
my
student of
student.
yours. Yeah, one of your students. She has completed her medicine in
Medicine.
Pondicherry, and she's working herself to appear for the NEET examination for postgraduate course. The
Very
other
nice.
granddaughter,
Very.
the other granddaughter refused to become a doctor, Aparajita, and so
Okay.
she is doing a BSc Home Science Nutrition in WCC.
Okay.
That's the story, and
Okay.
my parents have always been with me, and my father passed away in 2003, and my mother in 2014, and we
Yes.
were we were all living together, and it is their effort in bringing all 4 of us. I have one brother and 2 sisters, all 4 of us, and gave us decent education, decent standard of living. Never made us feel the want of anything in life when we were students, and the life thereafter till we started standing on our own legs. So
Excellent. Excellent.
I must pay my debt of gratitude to my parents for all the sacrifices that they have done, and my wife for standing by me for all the achievements that I have
How sweet.
made, and my daughter more recently now, because Indira passed away in 1993
Yes.
due to a malignant disease. So since then, my parents, my daughter have been my pillar of support. Even now, Dr. Priya, my daughter, is my pillar of support at home. So that is the domestic front. So I've always been
Yes,
a tennis
but
player. So of my
yeah,
college
but
days and captain the
when I
college
came
team.
to you
So
yes, doctor,
yeah, I still play
doctor,
tennis at
doctor, you're
MCC,
going off.
Chennai.
Tell me, doctor.
Uh, I still play tennis at MCC every morning, even this morning. So that's a passion for me. So that keeps me fit. So looking forward to that activity early in the morning makes the rest of the day complete and
Yes,
prepares
yes,
me for the rest of the day for my activity. That
very
gives me
true.
the energy. Gives me the
Yes,
that gives me the positive outlook to look forward to the rest of the day with some nerve and verve.
yeah,
So that's
yeah.
how I do that. And of course, my professional career has expanded. My clientele has expanded over the years for 40, 50 years now since
Yes,
I went into
doctor.
the field of
Yes.
neurology. So, and
Wait, Yane. Just அங்க வச்சிட்டு போங்க, please. I'm in an interview. Sorry, doctor. Bharath has just
oh,
gone out. He'll be coming from Amazon some packet.
okay, good.
Okay, doctor.
Oh,
But in your
oh,
either like
mm,
when you started, doctor, your
mm,
face. Yeah.
ah,
Um, you always used to when I came with the either and you put me on. You remember you and Dr. B Ramamurthy were telling, இல்லம்மா பகவான் உனக்கு மூளைய ஜாஸ்தி வச்சுட்டாரு, அதை நாங்க கட் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு நீங்க சொன்னீங்க. That was the thing. And I still remember you used to
mm,
write numbers on my back and see correcta irkanu. அது என்ன டாக்டர் அந்த செக்கெல்லாம் நம்பரிங்?
not on the back, on the hand, not on the back.
What is that
On the
for?
hand, because a brain can a certain portion of that is to test a certain portion of the brain. Because when
Okay.
even if you close your eyes, write a number on your palm, you will be able to appreciate it because that portion of the brain appreciates that
Oh,
aspect of touch and figure writing. So those are one of the small neurological tests to find out which portion of the brain. Because you see, when you came to me first, there was no CT scan, there was no big
yeah.
imaging, there was no MRI at all.
I think we did
So
MNRI, if we
yeah,
remember.
that is
Yeah.
the only CT scan was the only thing that has just come into
Yes. And
existence,
that too, it was in
availability in
Egmore.
Chennai.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically the diagnosis is made by clinically assessing, by looking at the patient, listening, examining, and finding out that this is the problem, where the
Okay.
problem is, and what the problem is, to what extent is determined by these tests like the CT scan. We are fortunate that we could get the CT scan done at that time for you. And
Yes.
then of course Dr. Ramurthy took over and did the rest of the management. From then on,
Yes.
of course, I've been looking after you since then. So the
Since then,
rebirth,
நான்
this
எதுக்கும் தலைவலியில இருந்து வயித்தவலியில இருந்து கைவலியில எல்லாம் உங்ககிட்ட தானே டாக்டர் நான் வரேன். நீங்க தான் எனக்கு கதி. I keep bugging you, doctor, and viewers. Let me tell you at this point, he'll be having, it will take 10 days for him to give an appointment, okay? But I just need to give a call. Doctor, I need to come and see you for about, வாங்க மேடம் உங்களுக்கு இல்லாதியா மேடம் அப்படின்னு எத்தனை அழகா சொல்லுவார் தெரியுமா? Maybe probably because you see, let me be very proud in saying that I share with him the zodiac sign. Both of us are Cancerians. He's July 11th and I'm July 4th. So
your family
proud
has
to
been
be.
close to me. So
And
I've
doctor,
your family has been very close to me. So
the whole
I'm almost
family,
part
of
of your
course,
family.
Shrikant,
Yeah.
Srinath. And remember when Srinath, my younger brother, got
Yeah.
hit while playing
Yeah.
cricket
Yeah.
in Cochin.
Yeah. Tirupanitura. He had the.
Tirupani, Angenda Bharat brought him there to you. I still remember. And he called me. I mean, the entire Ammakku, ellarkume na children. And I think you, even for many dancers, you are still there, doctor.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
Vaijayanti Akka, Sudha auntie. Ellarkum neenga thane doctor. For everyone. I mean, so many people that, I mean, such a variety of You know, one more thing, viewers, he never calls me his patient. You know that? Doctor, I'm very proud of it, doctor. Nada Julik, no, I'm his patient. He'll say, all your family is known to me, close to me. Avladha Chulver, our patient, they Chulamatar. He is very strict, my dear viewers. At the same time, doctor has a great sense of humor. That I must say, a great sense of humor is not our பேசுச்சே. அதனால it is so good. And எப்படி டாக்டர் டைம் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் என்ன போய் ரொம்ப நன்னா இருக்குன்றாலே உங்களை தான் நம்ம பகவான் மாதிரி நமஸ்காரமே பண்ணிடணும். அப்படி மேனேஜ் பண்ணிருக்கீங்களே நீங்க. My God.
That's why in between, he became a Freemason in 1977.
Yes,
Until I continue that.
Please tell the viewers about Freemason, doctor.
A few of my friends took me into their fold, and I became a Freemason in Chennai in one of the lodges. It's called a lodge, like a club in other institutions. It's called a lodge. So I became a member in 1977. I'm continuing even now, and I rose to the highest post in India, being the Grand Master. Hi, Archu.
Doctor, just say hi to my grandson.
Hi, Archu.
Say hi.
Hi.
Okay.
Good.
He's just come from going out with his grandfather.
Good.
Yes. Hi, Chula.
Good evening, doctor.
Hi, Abhishek, Bharath.
Doctor,
So-
we have beautiful audience, doctor. So
Very
happy
good.
and so blessed. Yes, doctor, continue.
So, in this, I rose to become the Grand Master of India. That is the highest post for about 3 years. We made a lot of changes to blow the myth that Freemasonry is a secret organization, secret society. It is a magical cult. People drink wine from the skulls. All those things.
My God, do they say that?
Some author has written that, So we blew all that myth and said, no, we are all good fellows, not too bad fellows. So
No.
my
Oh,
installation.
they're all good fellows, not too bad fellows. I like that.
So I had my installation as Grand Master in Chennai, in the
Yes,
Chennai
I
Trade
came.
Center.
Bharath and
Yeah,
myself were
for the
fortunate
first
enough to
time,
be invited by you.
the first time in the history of Freemasonry India, the installation was done in an open meeting in the presence of the families, friends, and everybody. About 2,000 people attended, including my
Yes,
mother,
at
my
Chennai
sister,
Trade
my
Center.
daughter. That's right. So that was a glorious time of 3 years, traveling all over India, all over the world for world conferences, and attending
Excellent.
other grand lodges in England, in France, in Italy, in Russia, in America, South America, Brazil,
Wow.
Colombia, and whatnot.
Awesome countries, doctor, you've been.
Yeah.
And
So
doctor, and
that
you've
was a very
always
interesting
been there
period,
even for my
and
dance.
the Freemasons, do a lot of charitable activity very quietly. So during the time I was Grand Master, the Grand Lodge of India, that is the apex body called the Grand Lodge of India, we undertook a mammoth charitable project called the solar electrification of remote villages all over the country. For about 106 villages, we lit by solar lighting, where the
Excellent,
people had
doctor.
they had never even seen an electric bulb in these days.
Ayyo,
So,
pavam.
so 106 locations in Assam, in UP, in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Gujarat, and Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, everywhere, even Andhra Pradesh, Araku Valley. So all these places, we have done a mammoth project called the Jyotirgamaya. That
Acha.
means bringing light. Let there be light. Let there be light, Jyotirgamaya. So those till the government started giving electricity to them, those projects were looked after by us. These were done by our own contributions from our own members. And this was
Beautiful.
a very, very, very soul-filling project, and a very gratifying to see the smile in their faces when the first bulb was lit in their home. And it is an unbelievable feeling of great joy to see their satisfaction in their faces when
Excellent,
someone brings
doctor.
light in their lives.
And
So when
doctor-
this was all going on,
Yes. Doctor,
I used to, tell me.
after this Mason, because somebody was asking me about your service to number Kanchipuram. Kanchi
That's what I'm coming to. So during one of my visits to the mutt, I'd gone and prostrated before the Mahapariva and paid my obeisance and was taken leave and coming back to Chennai. After I came back to Chennai, I got a call from the Met and saying that உனக்கு உத்தரவாயிருக்கு உங்களுக்கு பெரியவா கூப்பிடுறா அப்படின்ட்டு. So that means he called for me again. So I went back there and said, நீ வந்து என்னை வந்து டெஸ்ட் பண்ணி பாரு இனிமே. So I had to have a bath, change clothes, and attend on him. And I knew what the problem was. So I made an appeal to him that he should take the medicine that I'm prescribing. He was so gracious to take the medicines. And then he said, "You vara enna vandu paathutu po."
Very nice.
Every Thursday.
We won't be coming to the clinic. I think you used to go on Sunday and come on Monday.
No. Thursday mornings I would go. Thursday morning I would leave Chennai at 4 o'clock, be there at 5:30, attend on him and pay obeisance to Puduperiva, go to Kamachiamman temple, come back to be in the clinic by 9:30.
Wow!
This was the routine for 4.5 years.
My God.
Till he left us on the 8th of January, and Indira passed away on the 29th of December. So I couldn't be there at the time that he left us. Those 10 days I could not go.
Yes.
That was a double blow for me in the life at that time. So that is the thing, that he would agree to take the medicine that I prescribe, allow himself to be examined. Allow himself to be examined, and you have to sit in front of him and bend down. He'll be lying down or
Doctor, one Sharanya Damodaran says, "Great, sir." She says, "Great." And the doctor, you've always been there for me. Before I say about our 2009 and 2019 celebrations of my 1040 and 2050, many people have asked me, what is myasthenia gravis? Could you just tell me in 1 or 2 lines, what is it?
What, your condition?
Myasthenia gravis, which I suffered ages ago.
Yeah. That was
1990
first operation that you had was the first operation you had in 1984 by Dr.
That was
Ramurthy.
on Indira Gandhi's assassination.
Yeah. I was in the theater at that time.
Yes.
In the operation theater.
Doctor, you and Doctor went and told Amma, no, மூளையே இல்ல, நம்ம வந்து மூளையை வந்து போட்டிருக்கோம், brain transplantation.
So that was the rebirth for you. So you were born again in 1984.
That's what. I'm only 37. Bharath, I'm only 37 now.
So at that time, so after that you came back with this other condition called myasthenia gravis, if I'm allowed to say that.
Dr. Abhishek says
that is
hi to you.
Hi Abhishek. Yeah, I can see him.
Appak, hi children. My most favorite doctor ever, Abhishek is saying.
Thank you, Abhishek.
Yes, doctor.
So this is a condition where the muscles do not have the power to contract. You see, all our actions, like if I want to move my thumb like this, the command comes from if I move my right thumb, the command comes from my left brain, and for a particular portion of the brain, and then travels through the spinal cord, through the nerves, and then comes up to the muscle where there is a gate. The nerve impulse, all of this is an electrical impulse going through the nerves, and then it comes up to the muscle where a certain chemical is released, and the gate opens for the impulse to go and tell the muscle, now you contract. So you move the hand this way, you move your finger this way, you move your thumb this way. So that gate, that availability of that chemical in that gate is disturbed in this condition. That is not there. So the gate does not open. The electrical impulse which comes up to the muscle does not pass on to the muscle, so the muscle doesn't contract. So you become weak. So you become weak in certain muscles, and that's what is known as
myasthenia gravis. Is it an autoimmune disease?
Yeah, it is a kind of an autoimmune disease.
Oh, because I remember, and I don't know, at that time when people ask me, I just laugh it off. I said, I don't know. நான் 2 தடவை எம பகவானை பார்த்து ஹாய் பாய் சொல்லிட்டு வந்துட்டேன். Thanks to my Dr. Biswakumar, Dr. B. Ramurthy, of course, and Dr. Srimati. Bharath,
So,
Just help. Actually, yes, doctor.
so in this condition, medicines are given to make that gate open. You
Okay.
provide that chemical so the gate opens, the muscle functions. There's also a method of, get sort of a cure for
Huh.
this is given by removing a portion of a gland called thymus, which may get
Okay.
enlarged and become a thymoma within the chest, that is behind the heart. So, so you have to open up the chest and remove that gland, and that was done by Dr. Srimati for you.
Yes, yes.
So,
Cardiothoracic
so
surgery.
that
Yes,
so
yes.
that was that gives a sort of a permanent cure in many people. So that's what made you spring back to life a second time.
Yes, doctor. After that, no
Then of
looking
course
back,
you
doctor.
after that of course you founded Tejas in 1999, and I've
Yes.
been with Tejas for all your functions, all your
Yeah,
events,
in 2009,
2000
you
and
had come for my,
2019.
yeah.
Mm,
And I still remember, doctor, and I have to tell them that, when you said all of us are blessed twice means Srekala is blessed 5 times, you told doctor. I think that blessing is still there for me from you, which is so true
correct.
because we are all puppets in God's hands. So I
Correct.
really believe that I am in best hands of yours. And doctor, in 2019, when you came, to launch the coffee table book,
Correct. Correct. The
this
great
was
Srikanth is
held
there.
at Naradagana Sabha.
Yes,
This is the,
and all the doyens of the industry are there.
yeah, Sudanji,
Sudharani is there.
Mr. Gopalaswamy, you and
Gopal
Srikant.
Swami, yeah.
Yes,
Former election
and
commissioner was
yes,
there. Mm.
and another photo where we just honor you.
Oh yeah, this was in the Tejas 10th.
Yes. So
Mm.
these were the
Mm.
my superstar Akka. Who's this? Oh, hi Narendra. Your Akka has become superstar only because of this doctor. Oh my
So these
God.
are memorable events, and you have done you had a great journey, starting from your 7 years of life.
Yes,
You've done,
doctor.
and you have given more than 900 performances, visited all the continents except Arctic and Antarctic, as I said the other day.
Doctor, this is the
And you've been
52nd year of my dance.
awarded many times by Kalaimamani by the Tamil Nadu
That is a
government.
state. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Bharata Ratnam by the Sri Lanka
That is
government,
Sri Lanka,
and the
Dr.
House of
Bharathatnam.
yeah, and the House of Commons in Canada
Yeah,
honored
Toronto.
you.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Toronto. So you've come a long, long way, and still a long way to go with your
Yes, a very
performance,
long
and
way to go.
your disciples are shining thanks to your teaching and your involvement and
Thank
dedication
you,
to
doctor.
pages.
Thank you
So I wish
so
you
much.
well. I wish you well. I'm sure that all of them will carry and bring glory to your name and bring glory to
Yes,
Tejas.
yes,
Tejas.
yes, doctor. Yes,
Mm.
and also, doctor, you should tell us about your article for our coffee table book.
Yeah,
That is the dance of the brain, your
yeah,
article. And really, now you, of course, you explained about the whatever the brain tumor and the myasthenia gravis, but all that is well, and by God's grace, your grace and everything, that I'm dancing and I'm teaching and God's grace. But I would like you to tell us about the dance of the
the
brain.
brain, of course, controls all the movements, all the movement, the emotions, the stability, the balance, everything is controlled by the brain. But your fine tuning of and performing arts is again by training the brain in a particular area of the brain and to perform more and more and better so that you excel in whatever performing arts that you take up, be it dance, be it music, be it playing an instrument, or be it poetry, or be it an artistry in painting. In all this, you can excel by training the brain to function better and better and more and more. That's what you
Wow.
have done. That's what you have done, and that's what your dancing brain, the dancing part of your brain, has done very well.
Thank
And
you, doctor.
that is done extraordinarily well for you to achieve this glory and this level of excellence.
Thank you, doctor. That's what it was, very nice. And everybody were very interested with that article of yours, because you particularly, even you use some medical terms also in that.
Yeah.
So that, because most of us, we didn't understand though. But it was
So
very nice. And so what do you think, doctor, about your other, I remember one patient from Myanmar where he also
yeah.
made a name
So
for
there are
now.
some very many interesting cases one comes across when one has had such a long career of 5 decades in neurology.
Yes,
Or you get to see cases, you get to see patients who come with very complicated problems, because this is almost a tertiary care for them, for having seen many people elsewhere and then come, and you have to give a solution if possible and give the reasonable degree of cure, or
yes,
if not cure, at least solace and succor and relief.
yes.
So that you are able to achieve when a kind of a cure really happens, you are extraordinarily happy as a doctor, because you have done something which has made the patient, an individual, spring back to life in a complete way.
Very
So
true,
you
doctor.
said
Very true.
as I told this Myanmar patient was a young boy who had behavioral problems and extraordinarily difficult to manage, and he had been seen in Singapore and Bangkok, and he was brought here to me, and we could find out what the problem was, and I treated him here for a few weeks, and he went back home near normal. And the next few follow-ups, they used to come regularly every 2 months from Yangon to see me, and
Very nice.
the next 1 year he became totally normal. He was
Wow.
normal enough to take up his father's business, travel abroad, and
Excellent.
get married. All this was extraordinary.
Really.
So these are some very gratifying cases, like the surgeon takes away a tumor and the patient becomes normal. Similarly, the medical treatment also, we are able to achieve some very gratifying results, that the
Very
patient
nice.
gets better and better and becomes normal. That's what we attempt to provide, that
So
kind
there
of a
was no
result.
surgery on that Myanmar person at all.
No,
Okay.
no,
Very
only medical
nice.
treatment, only
Very,
medical
very
treatment.
nice. So like that, you must have met very many
And
challenging.
the thousands of
Yes.
cases like that.
Yes.
So, actually, when one is working in the government general hospital, the number of cases one sees is phenomenal. I can boldly say no doctor in the world would see so many cases as a doctor in the government general hospital in Chennai would see.
Oh
So
my.
the experience that gives you is remarkable and
It
carries
is.
to with all through your life. You're able to carry that expertise and provide the necessary adequate medical care to the patients who come to you even after leaving that place. That is a real temple of learning. It is a
Beautifully
kind of,
put by you, doctor. My God, Temple of Learning, so nice, because we use all that only for our divine art of Bharatanatyam.
yeah.
And when you say that for medicine, my God, my namaskarams, very nice, doctor, very nice. And then your day-to-day, Andamadila Marada, it's usually even as smallest Ipo, somebody was asking about whether there are different kinds of Parkinson's.
yeah,
அந்த
yeah.
மாதிரி
There are-
கேட்டா.
yeah. Different kinds of Parkinsonism.
Ah,
Parkinson's disease is a specific entity where the person becomes, slow, his movements become impeded, his hands and the whole body, and the lips and the chin, they start trembling, and there are also many other changes that happen in him emotionally, physically, and in the control of his blood pressure, control of his excretory organs. All these are affected in these people, and they become very dependent over the years. So
oh,
diagnose it early and to treat it adequately from time to time, reassess the problem and give the necessary medication, adjustment of doses, give the necessary physiotherapy help. All these makes the patient, less dependent on others, more independent, and you are able to halt, if not halt the progression, at least delay the progression of the disease to a large extent and give a lot of relief. And today, the number of drugs that are available and the availability of surgical methods to cure or give enough relief to these patients is what was not there 30-40 years ago. So we have advanced very much in this. The same way, the number of cases of epilepsy, the fits that happen in people, that can be due to disease of the brain and genetic causes sometimes due to tumors, strokes in the brain, other degenerative diseases in the brain can cause fits.
All are curable.
No, all are at least controllable. Some are curable, some are not curable, but at least we can give a great deal of relief and resume normal activity. All these patients with epilepsy can do almost all normal activities except, driving a vehicle or working at heights or in automatic machinery. These are things that are prohibited. For the ladies, it is not a bar to getting married and having children. So there's no problem at all. So and particularly for this, it is a must that they attend the school, and the teachers must be given the necessary education to make them become aware that this is a disease that can be.
Oh, excuse me, doctor. Sorry to interrupt you. One Sharanya Dhamodaran is saying, I am also a neuro patient, ma'am. My doctor says my brain is hyperactive. Can you speak about hyperactive brain?
No, it depends on which age that is. If it is a child, it can be an attention deficit hyperactive. No. We will not go into direct
Sharanya,
cases.
don't
if somebody is treating her, it's not.
The best. You let's follow whatever your doctor says, Sharanya.
Correct.
And doctor,
it is
some people, I mean, they've not asked now. They've just asked what is Petimal and Grand Mal. I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Petimal these are French terms. P-E-T-I-T is a petit. Petit means small.
Petit in French is very small.
Grand means big. So it's a major fit is called Grand Mal, and a less intense fit where there is no movement of the limbs or very little, it is called Petimal. These are very old terms. Now the terms are changed. So these are the Petimal is also known as absence attacks, where the child, usually in a child, just goes blank for a few seconds to a few minutes. All that you may see is only a blinking of the eyes, and the attack stops. So this can be found out either by videographing the child during an attack, and by doing a test called an EEG, an electroencephalogram. You can see certain typical patterns in these children, and this is very much controllable, curable to some extent, to a large extent, so that they don't develop a major fit in the later years. This is usually seen in children.
Acha. Because somebody asked me yesterday, what is grand? Actually, there is no D because I've gone to a certificate course of French in Alliance Francaise.
What is it that you have not done? What is it that you have not done? Please tell.
This French, because of Appa. Appa was very keen that
I've also done a French certificate of French course in the university, in the University of Madras. In Pondicherry, if you join the JIPMER, one has to pass this examination those days.
Oh, really, doctor?
That is a condition laid down by the government of Pondicherry. So you have to pass an examination in French.
Acha. That's nice. That's nice, doctor. நானும் உங்கள மாதிரி ஒரு சின்ன பூவுடும் சேர்ந்து நாரும் மலரும் மாதிரி நீங்களும் பிரெஞ்சு கத்துட்டு இருக்கீங்க, நானும் பிரெஞ்சு. நீங்களும் கேன்சர் ஜோடியாக், நானும் கேன்சர். I'm so happy and thrilled that even so adlana so Pirontra della Sabona midine enga appa eppa paathalum solluva because appa that is Sophie returns from the university in the afternoon, so adu solli sirippa appa. So Pirontra della Sabona midi. So I did my teacher was one Usha Vishwanathan, and she on Facebook she's in touch with me. Hi Nadana. Of course, she's become very old.
Incidentally, my niece Shanti's sister is a great teacher in French, Usha Ramesh.
Yaar cholunga?
Usha Ramesh, Shanti Arun Kumar's sister.
Oh, really? Is she? Really? I never
She is
knew.
a great teacher in French.
I know that she speaks French, but I didn't know that she's a teacher. Oh.
Yeah. She is a great teacher.
Oh, thank you, Bhanu Rashmi. Doctor, she is from my Assamese student. She says her
Oh.
ma'am is amazing, I believe. You know, Rashmi, I'm amazing because of this doctor. Please give namaskarams to him. So, and either in a doctor, but I didn't know that Usha, Shanti's sister, is a French teacher. I didn't know this. That's nice to know that she is French. And doctor, what is your granddaughter going to take, either pediatrics or neuro?
We don't know.
Varshini.
We have to wait for the NEET exam
Okay.
results. Then only she can
Acha.
choose her specialty.
Okay. And what about anything other interesting other than,
interesting
whenever you
thing is,
go
of course,
abroad,
in my association with the Mahapariva, so he ordained me, of course, to start a trust to cater for the health of the old people who are housed there near Kanjipuram. So he asked me to join with Dr. Mathrubodham, who had started attending on them in Kanjipuram. So 4 old people were housed staying in a house there. So he asked me to start a trust, which we have done that. This was in 1990, 92, 90, 89, 90. So from then on, we have been carrying on this activity of looking after the health of the old people in Kalavai village near Kanjipuram. About 100 people are there. And another Vriddhashramam in Srekalahasti in Andhra Pradesh. That is also started by the Mutt. So we go periodically, give them medicines, look after them, chill them. This Kalavai home is also housing some handicapped children. Handicapped children whom we have educated. All of them we have educated to a great degree, to B.Ed, B.E, and one person has done law now, and one person has done MS and MPhil.
Amazing, doctor.
So these are all free. Their educational needs are met by us. Their scholarship is, their fees are paid by us. Their books are bought by us, and thanks to the philanthropy of my friends, this Kanchi Paramaguru Medical Trust has been able to achieve so much in over 30 years now, and we continue to do this service, and thanks to as ordained by Mahapariva.
Oh my God, how blessed you are, doctor. How blessed is your team also. So blessed, how I'm having goose flesh only.
Yeah, a few doctors help us, and a few volunteers, doctors like Dr. Santa Narayanan, Gopal Ramanathan, Dr. Vijaya, late Dr. Ravi, and Kamakoti, Nagappan, and various other people join us, Varaprasad, just to name a few people. So we spend the whole day traveling from here, going and examining them, giving them medicines, and come back late in the evening. It's a very gratifying experience.
Very, very nice, doctor. I mean, like you should tell us anything else more like this,
And then there's one Kannan, Gopal and Kannan. That Kannan, they're all volunteers who do a great deal of help to us. Keeping the records, giving the medicine, dispensing the medicines. So you might know Sujata's husband Kannan, Sujata Tarakesan. Chennai Gaga.
Doctor,
Chennai Gaga store. Her husband. Okay. So anyway.
Hey, doctor, ninga kira poringa ipdi innu koncham yes, that's correct. Fine. Okay.
So these are all people who help us, and we do that. Of course, the credit for starting this goes to late Dr. Mathrubodham. His wife, Mrs. Geeta Mathrubodham, is a pillar of strength to us. She's also been a great help to us.
Doctor, how do you handle hypochondriac patients, doctor? How do you handle
generally them? Generally, if it is a pure psychiatric problem, I don't deal.
Okay.
So many patients, have an inherent sense of fear, anxiety about their disease. The anxiety in them makes the disease worse, and they start doubting every little symptom that they have to be a very serious illness. It requires a tremendous amount of counseling and reassurance on the part of the doctor to make them feel comfortable.
Yes.
So very often it is
Doctor,
possible.
Chennai Gaga. Doctor, kindly share with us any special learnings from your time in the Indian Army.
Oh, yes.
I think he's missed out what you've told, but please tell again.
Yeah, this, as I said, 3.5 years in the Indian Army, 3.5 years in the front, 4.5 years to be precise in the Army. That is not a very great length of a career, but I was fortunate enough to be of service when there was a war, the 1965 war with Pakistan. So there is one special thing that has to be mentioned is there was a Pakistani shell fell on my bunker and it didn't burst. So
what?
Pakistani shell fell on my bunker. Bunker is the underground accommodation in which you reside during the wartime.
Bunker is the underground? Like
it is an underground accommodation and kind of tent. So it didn't burst. If it had burst, you won't be having this interview. So that kind of experience you have,
Oh my God!
And we are going someplace.
I think Mr. Chennai Gaga must be happy with to hear this, but he must be scared also, I'm sure.
that is Sujata Tarakesan, Sujata Kannan.
Sujata Kannan. Okay, yeah. That's so nice. That's so nice. Oh my God! But it was nice and cholala. Appa evlo paitirpinga neenga. You would have got your heart must have missed a beat. But doctor, how did you manage it?
All that has happened. There's a part of life. So life teaches you that no, you do not know what a day may bring forth the next day. So you be prepared for it. So always be prepared
next
for
day,
it.
Doctor? Next minute, doctor.
Yeah. So that gives you the courage. That gives you the courage to face anything in life.
What, doctor?
That gives you the courage to face anything in life.
Yes, very true.
With equanimity.
Very, very true, doctor. We become more confident. We become more, yes. I mean, you can face it and just answer it and go instead of being a coward,
Yeah.
Even in, they say, don't lie to a doctor, advocate, and yaru edo solluva. நிறைய பேர் டாக்டர்ஸ் கிட்ட வேற மாதிரி சொல்லுவா டாக்டர் அது உங்களுக்கு ஈஸியா கண்டுபிடிச்சுடலாம்னு வெச்சுக்கங்க. People don't tell the true health. அது சொன்னாதானே வரும். அது சொன்னாதானே வரும். Like
we can elicit that. We can elicit that. We can elicit the truth. We can.
Yes, people can. Yes. And அந்த மாதிரி பேஷண்ட் மறைச்சாக்க நீங்க என்ன சொல்லுவீங்க? ஒழுங்கா உண்மையை சொல்லுவீங்கன்னு சொல்ல மாட்டீங்களா இல்லையா?
Well, we quietly find out the truth, then not to belittle them, but then we need that information for the better treatment. So it is necessary to do that.
Yes, for us to get well. Unless and until you tell the truth, how will the doctors know? Very, very true. In everything, I think it's always better. Like she says, Dr. Sujata, thanking all our stars. When you told about the bunker burst. My God, we can laugh now, but not then. Like that, வேற ஏதாவது ஒன்று ரெண்டு இது ஆச்சா டாக்டர் சொல்லுங்க டாக்டர்.
This is the thing. This is life is very tough. Living in a tent all the time, and the extremes of weather in beyond Srinagar. This is, and the heat is quite intense during summer, a couple of months in summer, and the winter, of course, is snowbound. It's all snowbound area, so there is snow. So we move into a paka accommodation at that time. So a very enjoyable time for a young man fit to climb any hill in Kashmir, and
fantastic.
Troops. That is a very, very essential part of one's life. I would say every able-bodied man in this country should go through an experience of at least 3 years in the army, so that the nation will become a more disciplined and patriotic nation. people will become more patriotic instead of shouting anti-India slogans.
Are you very, very true? Very, very true. What you're telling actually.
You must you must experience the condition in which our soldiers function in those areas, far away from their families. They can visit only a few days in a year, and sometimes they don't even get that leave. Sometimes, very, very tough conditions. Young people whose life is over in 45, by the age of 45, they are retired. So after that, what do they do?
Very true. Very true.
We don't look after our ex-servicemen adequately. So we must look after them. That is very essential. People like me are academically qualified and pursued a professional career is different. For those young soldiers who leave the army, who had to leave the army at 45 years of age, what will they do? They have to start a new life.
Pavam. Avalka life romba pavam. Very, very sad. And doctor, then you tell us what is Varshini planning to do? You told only for after the NEET exam.
Yeah. Excellent. So we hope and pray that she gets a good rank and gets the specialty.
She will, being your granddaughter. Come on, Dr. Indra and Dr. Biswakumar's granddaughter. She will. Okay, doctor. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Srekala. It's been a great 1 hour of chatting.
Fantastic.
And reminiscing and remembering many old things, and with great pleasure and sometimes pride, sometimes with great honor that we have been able to do certain things. And the life has blessed us to be of service to the humanity and continue to do so till the last day. We must be of service to people. That is my message. That is my experience in life, and that's what I hope to be of service to people.
How sweet. Dr. Bharath has said one of the best interactions, and of course, you what is it? You have and always are well-wisher. And Sharanya Damodaran says, your life is great, sir. From army to Mahaperiyava, you are truly blessed by God. We are blessed to hear you. Namaskarams to you, sir.
Thank you, Sharanya Damodaran. Thank you, very kind of you.
Thank you, Sharanya Damodaran.
Thank you.
And Bharath has said, it's our honor to be a part of your family.
Thank you, Bharath.
Yes, doctor, we are all fortunate and honored.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Give my
much.
regards to your mom and your very dear brothers.
Remember that forward? Yeah. That, when
very
Srikanth had his Jaya TV interview in 2013 when he was a chairman of the selection committee of cricket.
Very. She was so good singing that and so clear without any pisser in her singing. Okay. Very nice.
True. இப்பதான் டாக்டர் நடக்கவே மாட்டேன்றா டாக்டர் வாக்கர் வச்சிட்டு இருக்கா. நான் நடக்க மாட்டேன், எனக்கு நடந்தா பயமா இருக்கு, கீழே விழுந்துடுறேன்.
Make sure
ஏதோ பண்ணிட்டு
is kept well.
பண்ணவே மாட்டேன்றா, நடக்கவே எப்படி விச்சுக்கு நடப்பாளோ. She refuses to walk because she's scared. Thank you so much, doctor. My namaskarams and seek all your blessings.
God bless you. God bless you. All the best to you and your family and all your viewers, all your people who are all the people who are following this interview.
Yes, thank you, my dear viewers, for having been. Ayyo, pavam, nee doctor ku bye soltuma na unak.
Bye achu.
Avanukku inga pattudtham. Adan doctor, I will definitely come and see you, look you up one of these days, doctor. Phone pannittu varen.
Okay.
I call you.
All the best.
Thank you.
Interview.
Thank you so much, doctor. And thank you.
Bye everybody.
Thank you. Romba nalla viewership, doctor. Iniki romba sandoshama irukku. Thank you. And thank you, Master Jata. Yeah. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.